2nd and 10 for the Dogs. Clock stops with 5:32 remaining. Beck to throw again. Lobs it short over to the 30-yard line to Nate Frazier, who's able to use his legs and his speed a little bit, gets the ball between the hash marks. No, it's Roderick Robinson, excuse me. Well, he used his speed as well, up to the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. He got 21 on the play, first down for the Dogs. Beck to throw it again quickly. The Dogs go. He finds Dominic Lovett open near midfield on the Georgia sideline. He catches it, feet in bounds, and hops out of bounds at the 49. That's only a 3-yard pickup. It'll stop the clock for a moment. Now it's cranked up again. He got 3. It's 2nd down and 7 from the 49 for Georgia. Beck to throw. A little bit deeper down the field to Lawson Lucky. He makes the catch falling down at the Tech 34. Lucky with the grab, and the Dogs move into Tech territory quickly. Burrell, the cornerback, on the tackle for the Yellow Jackets as Lucky was falling down on the catch at the 34, 17 yards on the gain. Dogs still moving fast. Beck to throw it, and he just throws it away. He looked right, turned to the left, and just chunked it downfield in the direction of Arian Smith, and just threw it, I think, intentionally out of bounds on this near sideline.
Yeah, good quick decision there by Carson. Didn't like his pitcher downfield, had a safe spot to put the football, just throwing that one away.
4:23 on the clock. Stopped with that incompletion. 2nd down and 10 from the Tech 34. Beck with Cash Jones in the backfield. Carson to throw, dumps it off to Cash. Caught at the 30, to the middle of the field on the near hash. Hit at the 25, down to the 24, maybe the 23. Jackson Hamilton made the tackle for Georgia Tech, a transfer from Louisville, the linebacker. It is on the 23, he got 11. It's another first down for the Dogs. They're speeding down the field, throw it out to the right side. It's caught by London Humphreys. He's got blocking on the far edge, a little bubble screen, and Humphreys veers inside the numbers and tackled at the 17-yard line by one of the linemen, Vandenberg. But the Dogs poke their heads into the Massey-Ferguson red zone again at the 17. Here we go, snap it again. Back to throw, he bounces for the end zone. Hit, caught, touchdown, love it. Reaching up high, 5 yards deep, pulls it down, hangs onto the ball, and gives the Dogs 6.
Boy, the Dogs, Tech was more than content just to give us checkdowns coming down the field as they were playing kind of a prevent defense. Dogs did exactly that. Then Tech got back into their normal defense once we got into the red zone. They've been susceptible all year long to verticals and deep digs inside the hash marks. Dogs exploited a couple of times in a row and score quick, and there's still a little bit of life in the red and black.
Lovett high-pointed that ball, took a shot as he was coming down, hung on for the score. Here's the point after try. Peyton Woodring kicking it to the west end zone. And it's up and good. And that Georgia touchdown brought to you by Engineered Solutions of Georgia, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. There's still time left, 3:39 to go. It's a 7-point game again, 27-20 now. Georgia Tech in front, they've led all night. The Dogs move quickly, lightning fast, 158 on a 75-yard, 8-play drive, and a 17-yard hookup. Carson Beck to Dominic Lovett for the touchdown. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Call Georgia Metals today and say roof, roof, roof for your Bulldogs discount. 3:39. Could some sort of a miracle happen in the next 3:39? The Tech offense hasn't shown any cracks at all tonight. They've just dominated, running the football, time of possession. They've had the ball almost 35 minutes of this game tonight, and they've rushed for 225. Haynes King has been a player for the Yellow Jackets tonight. Dogs to kick it away, 3:39 to play, 27-20. Woodring booms it high, end over end, going to come down on the 2. Singleton wants to return it to the 10, 15, behind the wall, changes directions to the 20. We hit him sideways at the 21-yard line, and down he goes right there. Tech with another player slow to get up. Quintavious Johnson, a freshman, made the hit on special teams for the Dogs. Tech with the ball. Now you got to start looking at the clock with 3:33 to go, and you got to start monkeying with your timeouts a little bit. if you don't get stops. Tech has moved the ball consistently all night. 24 first downs in the game for the Yellow Jackets. They'll start at their own 22-yard line.
Dogs with all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout as well. We're going to stop the clock 4 times.
Dogs defensive line shifts. Tech moves, false start on the Yellow Jackets as they bowl the play dead. 5-yard penalty on the Yellow Jackets.
False start. Offense. Number 54, 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on the veteran right tackle Jordan Williams from Gainesville, Georgia. Moved early. Ball's on the 17, 1st and 15 for Georgia Tech. 3:33 still on the clock.
Well, Dogs had a bunch of fans that started to head for the exit, but stadium still loud.
Yeah, got to be still at least 3/4 full, maybe a little bit more than that. It's a 7-point game. Tech in front, 27-20. Last 3:33 of the regular season. Handoff to Singleton. Around the right edge, but not very far. We stack him up just across the line of scrimmage, led by the linebacker C.J. Allen. At the 18-yard line, he got a yard. Singleton just ran into a wall of Georgia defenders on this right side. Clock moving at 3:12, 3:11, 3:10. Tech taking their time, just letting the seconds tick away. 20 on the play clock, 19, 18. Game clock's at 3 minutes now. 2nd down and 13 for the Yellow Jackets. They're on their own 18-yard line. Dogs need another stop here. Motion man to the near side. King drops back with time in the pocket. Looks to the right. Looks downfield. He throws in. It's caught, I think. Georgia Tech coming to the near sideline. Yes. Abdul Jannah. A great catch by Jannah, his first of the night. We had a man draped all over him, Daniel Harris. And King slipped that ball right in there up at the 31-yard line.
Well, nothing you can do about that. That was great coverage there by Daniel Harris. Just a better throw and a better catch. As Tech now 3rd and 1. See if the Dogs can step up and get a stop.
He got 12. He needed 13. 3rd down, a yard to go. Fake the sweep and run it like they've done all night. This time we hit King with Dan Jackson. We hit him, but I think he got the 1st down. He didn't get Georgia comes out of the pile with the ball. Georgia's got the ball. King coughed it up. Georgia's got the ball. Oh, my goodness.
It was it Dan Jackson that delivered the blow? Just absolutely hammered Haynes King. We didn't see the football come out from up here. We're about to watch it on replay.
Dan Jackson with a brilliant blow. Hit King, the quarterback, right in the chest, and he dropped the ball. And then it was loose in the pile, and the Dogs have possession at the Georgia Tech 33-yard line.
Boy, that ball sat on the turf for an eternity. Nobody knew where the football was.
Wow. Well, Georgia set themselves up for a comeback. Can they finish it? 2 minutes to go. We're at the 2-minute timeout. 27-20. Georgia Tech leads Georgia. The Dogs just got the ball on the turnover. We've got a time here at Sanford Stadium. Our second half tonight brought to you by First Franklin Financial, serving our neighbors since 1941. We're back for the finish after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Kick off your game with Georgia Peanuts. Power-packed with protein, essential nutrients, and great taste, Georgia Peanuts are the MVP for affordability, sustainability, and nutrition. To score life's touchdowns while cheering on the Dogs, look for Georgia Peanuts in Sanford Stadium concessions or visit GAPeanuts.com to order online. This message is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Peanut Commission. Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
They're not just the Bulldogs, they're your Bulldogs. Customize your Wells Fargo debit card or open an account today and show your Bulldogs pride with every purchase. Get started at wellsfargo.com/Bulldogs. Wells Fargo is proud to be the official sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs. Copyright 2024. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Georgia Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
It's college football season, so you need all the energy you can get. Luckily, Georgia Power knows a thing or two about saving energy. We understand that energy costs are an important part of your budget. That's why we're dedicated to providing tools and assistance that can help make a difference, so you can save your energy for the game. Visit georgiapower.com/myenergy to learn more.
To go. Dogs with their first takeaway of the night. Haynes King coughed it up on the hit by Dan Jackson. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification, Bulldogs Sports Network. Quarter recap brought to you by Ag South, Ag Georgia, Southwest Georgia Farm Credit, loans for land and farms. To this point, Georgia has outscored Tech here in the quarter 14-10 and outgassed them on the field in yardage totals as well. 148 total yards for Georgia here in the fourth period, 78 yards for Georgia Tech. The Dogs just forced a turnover. That's the first of the game for the Yellow Jackets. And now Georgia on the Tech 32-yard line with an opportunity here in the last 2 minutes to try to tie or win the ball game.
Georgia has been confirmed.
So during the timeout, were they reviewing that? It took a while. They wait until after the media break to make the announcement. I never even saw an announcement they were reviewing it.
It was pretty clear. That ball came out as soon as Dan Jackson hit him.
Did Chambliss recover it?
Chaz Chambliss recovered it.
They put 5 seconds on the clock as well, so they're going to have another timeout at 2 minutes. So they've added 5 seconds. It says 2:05 on the clock.
And Dogs still with all 3 of their timeouts. Tech has got 2.
Dogs on the Tech 32 after the fumble by the Tech quarterback. Here we go. 4 receivers set, 2 to each side. Roderick Robinson in the backfield. Beck talking to his line. Now back in the shotgun. They snap it. Carson wants to run to the 30, 29. They grab his leg as he got through the hole. He falls forward close to the 28. Thomas Gore, the Miami transfer, makes the tackle for Georgia Tech. And they put the ball on the 29. It was a 3-yard run. And now we do have another stoppage of play at the 2-minute timeout.
That was a design quarterback draw all the way. Tech had 1 linebacker in the middle as we spread them out. He went with Nate Frazier, so if Carson Beck could have gotten through the line of scrimmage, would have had some green grass to run, but couldn't break through that initial wave.
Yeah, Gore just got enough of his leg and was able to hang on to catch Carson Beck. The official said this second 2-minute timeout will be just a 30-minute variety, so we keep it right here. And we will continue play. 2 minutes to go, 27-20. Georgia Tech leading Georgia here in the fourth quarter. The Yellow Jackets have led all night long. Georgia trying to take advantage of a late opportunity they created on defense, forcing a turnover. Dan Jackson forced it. Chaz Chambliss recovered the fumble by the Tech quarterback, Haynes King, and trying to cash in on that opportunity here. We need 7 to tie. On the Georgia Tech 29-yard line, 2nd and 7 for the Dogs. Beck in the shotgun, snap back. They shoot the gap. They bring pressure. He throws far sideline. Caught, I think, then dropped. And now a flag down. On the far sideline, Dominic Lovett had it hit his body. The ball came out, and then the flag came in right about the same time.
Defense, number 16. First down.
Saeed Gibbs, who was shaken up earlier in the game, just a few moments ago, as a matter of fact, is called for pass interference on Georgia Tech. It'll be a 15-yarder or down to the 14-yard lines where they'll mark it off, and that'll put the Dogs inside the Massey Ferguson red zone with 1:54 to go.
And there was no doubt about that. Dominic Lovett ran a out and up and just got mauled. Tech brought pressure there. Carson barely got that out of his hands before the Tech defender made contact with him.
Beck in the shotgun. Robinson in the backfield. Play fake. Beck wants to keep it. He's got a man trying to tackle him and rip the ball out. Monroe Freeland grabs him around the hips and drives the Georgia quarterback forward to the 13-yard line.
Boy, give Monroe Freeland some credit right there. That was about to be a 5-yard loss. Monroe Freeland just essentially just willed Carson Beck forward back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Romello Height almost had Beck behind the line of scrimmage, but Georgia's left tackle wouldn't let it happen. We got a yard. It's 2nd and 9. Clock moving at 1:20. Beck in the shotgun. Bounces on the hash. Looking. Puts it in the air, and it's batted down right in front of him. Tech had two big linemen right in front of Beck, about 2 or 3 yards away, and it may have been Yunjuin and Height. One of those guys batted the ball at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, great coverage there by Georgia Tech. Nowhere for Carson Beck to go with the football until the pocket finally just collapsed on him and he had to get rid of him.
3rd and 9 from the Tech 13. Got to get it in the end zone. Got a minute and 13 to do it. 27-20, Tech in front. Beck with Cash Jones in the backfield. They send Arian Smith in motion to the right. Beck in the pocket, moving to the near side. He's going to run 15, 10, sideline 5. They grab his leg and trip him out of bounds. Where at the 4. He's short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and about a yard. No, they moved it to the 3. They say 3-yard line. Tech's defender is protesting. Height can't believe it. He's unhappy with the line judge who spotted it at the 3, and that gives Georgia a first down. Goal to go at the 3.
Well, they may come back and look at this one. Not sure if Carson stepped out of bounds at the 5. Dogs up at the line of scrimmage. No indication that they're going to look at it yet, though.
Ready to play. It's goal to go. 3.5 for Georgia. 1:06 to play. Snap back to Beck. Throws it. Far side. Caught, I think. Touchdown! Touchdown! Dominic Lovett right on the goal line. They belted him after he caught it and knocked him back to the 1, but it was too late. He broke the plane on the catch. Touchdown, Dogs. We're a point away from tying this thing up for the first time tonight.
It was a rub route on the outside. There wasn't much room to throw that football, but Dominic Lovett catches it an inch over the goal line for 6 points.
Lovett's 5th catch of the night. 2nd touchdown. That score by Georgia, brought to you by Engineered Solutions of Georgia, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. Point after try to tie it by Peyton Woodring with 61 seconds to go. Beck will hold. Bo Gardner will snap it. The kick is away, and the kick is good. We are tied at 27. Oh, man. It's taken all night to get here. Dogs were down 17-0 at half. It's 27-27 with 61 seconds to play in the last home game of the regular season against your arch rival. The Dogs took advantage of the fumble and went 32 yards in 5 plays in 1:01. Scored the touchdown on the 3-yard throw from Beck to Lovett. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Call Georgia Metals today and say roof, roof, roof for your Bulldogs discount.
Dogs right now showing the heart of a champion. We'll tell you, I think everybody in this stadium, if you would have asked, we're going to come back and tie this thing up, the answer would have been a resounding no, but somehow the Dogs find a way to make plays when they needed to make plays. Still a minute left, and you've got a Tech team with 2 timeouts remaining that have moved the ball almost at will tonight.
Woodring to kick it off. Angles it to this near side. It's going to bounce about a foot deep in the end zone. Tech will take the touchback. So Georgia Tech with 1:01 on the clock. They only need a field goal to win the game. 27-27. Don't look at me like that.
Tech has got the wind behind their back. We've seen how tough it is kicking into that wind.
Scoreboard says make noise. So Sedford Stadium obliges. Tech shifts on its offense. They send a tight end to the right. Dogs defensive line shifts to the right as well. King pulls it down, wants to run. Meandering his way up the field across the 25. We stack him up, finally get him down. A generous 3-yard gain for Haynes King. Nazir Stackhouse leading the Georgia defense on the tackle. Brent Key out on the field on the far sideline for Georgia Tech. Clock moving, 39, 38, 37. We're tied at 27. Tech got 3. Second down and 7. King drops back, dumps it off. He's got a man open at the 28, caught to the 40, to the 45, and sprinting out of bounds is Chase Lane, the Texas A&M transfer, running all alone and into the boundary for the Yellow Jackets to stop the clock with 25 seconds to go up to their own 45-yard line.
Quick decision there by Haynes King just to get to his check down. Dogs, everybody was back trying to guard for the big play, but still plenty of time here, still 2 timeouts left to get into field goal range if you're Tech.
He got 17 yards. Georgia wants a timeout. Before they snap it, Georgia calls timeout. 25 seconds to play in regulation. Tied at 27, Tech in Georgia. The Yellow Jackets led by 17 at halftime. It was 17-0. First time the Dogs have been shut out in the first half in 5 years. They only need a field goal to win it. Aiden Burr is their kicker, a redshirt sophomore from Texas. And his long this season is 51 yards. Tech has the second worst field goal percentage in the ACC this year. Burr's missed a bunch. Came into the game 11 of 17 and 1 for 3, 50 plus. And again, his long on that lone make from 50 plus was 51 yards. 25 seconds to go. We're not at that point yet. Tech on the Yellow Jacket 45-yard line. They're moving to our right. Dogs with 4 men up on the line. They snap it. King in the pocket with time. Throws it. A one-handed catch. And now the ball came out. The ball is loose on the turf. They're saying incomplete at the Georgia 47-yard line.
There was a crossing route there for Georgia Tech. Haynes King thought about running that. Dogs hemmed him up. King got his eyes back up, delivered a pretty good ball there that just couldn't be brought in.
Jamal Haynes, the running back, made a nice grab, took several steps, then the ball came out. He left the game grabbing at his low back and walking funny to the sideline. They're not reviewing that last play. It's called an incompletion on the field. 18 seconds to go. It's 2nd and 10. Tech snaps. Here comes pressure. The ball's in the air. May have been tipped at the line. Georgia deflected the ball. Gabe Harris may have gotten a piece of that one, at least the way he was reacting. That ball just flutters dead, incomplete at midfield. Nobody near it. The Dogs brought pressure, and Haynes King unable to get that pass off cleanly. C.J. Allen was the guy that came in and got a piece of that.
Boy, C.J. Allen just ran right through Georgia Tech running back that was trying to pick him up. Destroyed him to get in to disrupt that play.
13 seconds to go in regulation. Tech has 2 timeouts remaining. They're on their own 45-yard line. Snap. King in the pocket, dumps it over the middle, crossing route to the speedy Singleton at the 45. He gets to the corner, to the 50, over midfield into Georgia territory and runs out of bounds at the Dogs' 45 and a half. Clock with 7 seconds to go.
Dogs brought pressure right there. Just a quick crossing route. You're right, to get it into Singleton's hands. We just couldn't catch him.
He got 9 3/4 yards to the Georgia 45.5. 7 seconds to go. Tech's offense looking to their sideline on the far side of the field. We're tied at 27. Dogs just trying to get it to overtime. Somebody's calling a timeout, I think.
I think Brent Key came out and called timeout to talk about this play. They've got really 1, maybe 2 plays to get into field goal range.
Ball is spotted down just shy of the Georgia 45. They put it on the far hash. Tech moving to the east end zone. Going down to the wire here between the hedges. Tied at 27. It's going to be 4th down for the Yellow Jackets. They're going to bring the sticks out. Yeah, you don't see that much anymore. They're going to bring the chains out and measure. And it looks like he's definitely short. They stretch it out. How short is he? Well, the referee's bobbling the football, moving it all over the grass. They stretch the chain out. It's going to be less than a yard. Tech needs to get to the 34 if they can for a 51-yard field goal. Wind would be at the back of Burr if they decide to try to kick it. 51 is the long for Aiden Burr this year, the Tech kicker. And you got 7 seconds left, and they have 2 timeouts. Maybe they'll do like the Bears did yesterday.
Just go to the locker room with a timeout in your pocket.
Or maybe 2. Coach got fired after that. Did Tech call a timeout? Okay, they called a timeout after the measurement. So they should have 1 remaining. So an extended break here, back-to-back timeouts and a measurement for the first down. It's 4th down and less than a yard to go. Probably about a foot to go, as a matter of fact. The ball just outside the Georgia 45-yard line.
Kirby Smart is in the middle of that defensive huddle, just emphatically giving directions.
They break the huddle. Georgia's defense back on the field. Georgia Tech still huddled up on the far side at the numbers around some of their coaching staff, including their head coach, Brent Key. All right, 7 seconds. 4th down. Tech with the offense. Out on the field still. King in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Now another timeout. Georgia will use another time.
Well, the chess game has started here.
Still 7 seconds on the clock. Well, prior to that timeout, Georgia had a nickel defense out on the field with Everett, Jackson, Bolden, Starks, and Harris in the secondary. You had 4 linebackers and 2 down linemen. Let's check in with Shock on the sideline, brought to you by attorney Ken Nugent. DJ.
Fellas, one thing to watch for here is if we play press on the outsides. Remember earlier when Georgia Tech was trying to stop us before the half, they were playing a lot of off coverage and giving up stuff. I think we're going to press the guys on the outside so we don't give them that easy access to throw it to the sideline and get more yards.
I think that's a good call. I mean, Tech would probably really have nothing to lose if they decide to go with a deep ball here. At worst, you probably end up in overtime. And at best, you either complete a long pass, you get some kind of a freakish score, or you close in with time on the clock and a chance to kick a field goal. Here we go. Snap back to King. They throw it, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage, and the ball will go over on downs with 4 seconds left. C.J. Allen batted it down again. That's a couple of deflections in the last few plays by the Georgia linebacker from Barnesville, Georgia. Georgia football at our 45.5 with 4 seconds to go.
Boy, great job by C.J. Allen. Almost picked that off. Got up high to knock it down and almost stuck.
So you just sling a Hail Mary here?
Have to. You don't have enough time to run a play and get into field goal range. So just load it up and let it rip.
I like it. Dogs have the ball. Turnover on downs. Tech has 3 men on the line of scrimmage right now. And now Georgia will use its last timeout. Well, you can't go home with them, Chicago Bears. So the Dogs use them all here with 4 seconds to go in regulation. 27-27. Took all night to catch these guys, but the Dogs caught them with a flurry here in the 4th. A huge turnover late in the game, and they cashed that in and got the game-tying score eventually.
Yeah, huge hit by Dan Jackson on Haynes King, who has just torn us up tonight. 22 rushes, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Has had a good night throwing the football. But when we needed it most, Dan Jackson came in, put his helmet right on the football. Chaz Chambliss able to alertly see it and pounce on it.
35 degrees right now and getting colder. It's not going to warm up any, but a lot of the fans here, they're warming up their own way. 4 seconds to go. Beck in the shotgun. Robinson in the backfield. 4 receivers set. Tech rushes 3. Beck in the pocket. Tech going to hit him from behind. The ball is out. Georgia going to fall on it. A 3-man rush got to Beck on the last play of regulation. And as he was raring to throw it downfield for the Hail Mary, Tech reached in and got Beck's throwing arm and knocked the ball loose. Georgia recovers it, and that's the end of regulation. Tied at 27, and we've got a break. Overtime coming up. We haven't had this in a while. In fact, the last overtime game, you might recall it, 2019 against South Carolina. I didn't like the result of that one. Let's hope for a better outcome. 27-27, Georgia and Georgia Tech going to overtime in Athens. Back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
This is Coach Kirby Smart. The decision-making process between an elite athlete and a school takes time. You can rely on stats and research, but sometimes you just get a gut feeling about the person across from you, their unshakable desire to be elite. It's when game recognizes game.
Take your game to elite levels with the power and performance of the Ford F-150, the official truck of your Georgia Bulldogs. See your local Ford dealer today.
Ford F-150, built Ford tough. Go Dogs.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
All right, going to overtime in Athens. Kind of a rarity. Kirby Smart's 4th overtime game coming up. The Dogs are 1-2 in overtime under Kirby. We had a couple in the 18th season, and then we had one in 2019. And that's, in fact, the last time the Dogs lost a home game to South Carolina, went to double overtime. Since that time, Georgia's won every home game it's played, 30 in a row, trying to extend that to 31 tonight. So the overtime rules, at least to get started, each team will get a shot from the 25-yard line. No clock, no game clock. The officials right now are meeting at the middle of the field. And they'll send out a captain from each team for a coin toss to determine who gets the ball first. And going out for Georgia, it looks like it'll be Tate Ratledge. But they haven't sent the captains to the middle of the field yet. And now referee Jeff Heiser is motioning for the captains to be escorted to the middle of the field. And we'll listen in. Shock's going to the middle of the field too. DJ, honorary captain for the Dogs. We're going to listen in on the coin toss. Let's throw it down to Shock.
Gentlemen, this is overtime, okay? Both teams are going to have possession to start. Before we get there, offense, defense, or your choice of which way you want to go based on the coin toss, okay? After that, we play normal football. If we have to go to a second overtime, on the try, you got to go for 2. If we go to a third, alternating possession, whoever wins at that. Any questions? You're the visiting team. What's it? Again, head, tail. What is your call?
Heads.
Heads is the call.
Heads is the call. Heads is the call.
It is heads.
Want defense.
They want defense. Which way you want to go? Okay. Georgia will go this way.
Dogs get the ball first.
All right, Shock. Thanks a lot. Georgia will have the ball on offense, the first possession in overtime, and they'll work towards the east end zone, down to far right end of the field. 27-27. Overtime in Athens, Tech in Georgia. Game number 116 in the long history of this series. It started back in 1893. And certainly this one is turning out to be as meaningful as any of them. My goodness. It was 17-0 at the half, Georgia Tech. Georgia scored 21 in the fourth quarter to tie the game. When that fourth quarter started, across the ribbon scoreboards here in the stadium, it says, "We own the fourth quarter." Well, tonight the Dogs did own the fourth quarter, and they were able to tie the game. Here we go, 1st and 10 at the 25. Snap to Beck. Gonna hand it off, swinging wide to the right is Dwight Phillips. He had to curl way back around to the right side because Tech had great upfield pressure, but Phillips able to turn it into positive yardage. He got 3 to the 22, upended by the safety, Clayton Powell-Lee.
Boy, that play looked like it was going to be a disaster. Extremely quick penetration. It was just a sweep from Georgia, but Phillips had to bow that back about 5 yards to get away from the Tech defender. Somehow found a way to get a 3-yard pickup.
Got to keep the intensity in overtime. Frazier's in the backfield now for Georgia. We send Lucky in motion to the left. Snap back to back. Toss it to Frazier. Nate almost stumbles, had to put his hand on the turf to keep his balance and keep moving forward, and he'll pick up 2 to the 20. Stopped by Tatum, the linebacker. So now it's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Dogs at the 20-yard line.
Toss sweep into the boundary, just nowhere to go, and good pursuit there by Tech. Now Dogs 3rd and 5.
Need a first down here. Georgia tonight 5 of 11 on 3rd down. We're in overtime, 27 apiece. Cash Jones in the backfield, 3rd and 5 at the 20. Snap it back to Beck. He will throw, and it's caught by Cash on the near sideline. He turns to the boundary and gets out of bounds, maybe inside the 15 at the 14-yard line, and it's a first down. Tatum was in coverage and pursued him out of bounds.
Boy, just an out route out of the backfield by Cash Jones. Got the matchup that we wanted on the linebacker, and great hands and great job getting vertical after the catch for the first down.
They spotted just inside the 15. Dogs work officially now in the Massey Ferguson red zone. Split backfield on first down for the Dogs. Jones moves in motion to the right, now back in position and in motion to the left. Beck, pump fake, looks to the end zone. And caught London Humphreys at the 2 and into the end zone, standing up. Touchdown, fireworks. The Dogs take the lead for the first time tonight in overtime.
Boy, that ball came out of Carson's Beck hands, and I thought it was getting picked. Threw that into coverage, but London Humphreys able to slip right underneath the safety for Georgia Tech and go up and catch it. Tell you, after all the drops tonight, 2 great catches there, one by Cash Jones, one by London Humphreys, for the Dogs to take the lead.
Second touchdown catch of the year for Humphreys. Peyton Woodring for the point after. Try to put the Dogs up 7 here in overtime. Gardner, the snap, Beck the hold, Woodring the kick, into the seats, it's good. Georgia 34, Georgia Tech 27, the Dogs in front for the first time in the game. That Georgia touchdown brought to you by Engineered Solutions of Georgia, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. And in overtime, the scoring drive covered 25 yards in 4 plays, a 14-yard strike. Carson Beck to London Humphreys, 4th touchdown pass of the game for Beck. And it's put the Dogs in front for the time being, 34-27. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Call Georgia Metals today and say roof, roof, roof for your Bulldogs discount.
Well, the Dogs have struggled stopping this Tech offense all night. Tech ended regulation, 508 yards of total offense. Can the Dogs find a way like they've been doing much of the 4th quarter?
Tech has to do their offensive damage in the loudest part of the stadium. They're driving into the east end zone, into the student section where the noise can be deafening. They need a touchdown and an extra point to send it to a second overtime. Tech on the 25. King, the quarterback. They'll work out of the pistol right now. Haynes lined up behind. Now he shifts to the right. And now we've got motion, I think, on Georgia Tech. Yeah, they throw flags, and it might be a false start. The officials are huddling up.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That was on the center, Weston Franklin, Jessup, Georgia, with a false start. That backs Tech up to the 30.
There's a lot of noise down in that part of the field. You get the quick shift from the Georgia defensive line, just caused the slightest of flinches.
Tech shifts tight ends from right to left. Now they send a receiver in motion to the right. King with a play fake and a short throw to the right to the tight end. Caught at the 25, inside the 20, and tumbled down to about the 16-yard line. That was Big Hawes, who's had some key catches. Linebackers Munden and Walker upended him at the 16-yard line. He got 14 yards.
Boy, just way too much right there. A little play action. Slip Hawes out of the backfield. Nobody was there as that play action just got all the attention of the Dogs linebackers.
1st and 10, Tech on the 16. We're in overtime. Georgia leads 34-27. King pulls it down, wants to run to the left. He runs right into Dan Jackson, who closed the edge and slammed the door at the 15-yard line. He got a yard.
And enough for the first down, just on the quarterback keeper, but another big hit there by Dan Jackson as he closed quick.
Ball's just inside the 15, between the hash marks. Tech working to our right. They need a touchdown and an extra point to force another overtime. Tech's offense shifting all over the place. Haynes in the backfield with King. Motion man to the left, that's Rutherford. They hand it off to the running back, Jamal Haynes. He fights for yards down the far hash. And he's piled up around the 12 or 13. Chaz Chambliss, the linebacker from Carrollton, Georgia, makes the stop for the Dogs at the 12, it looks like. And they spot the ball, move everybody out of the way. Yeah, it's right on top of the 12-yard line. 2nd down and 8 for Tech.
Haynes slow to get up there and kind of hobbled off the field under his own power, but took himself out of the game.
He's been banged up a couple of times tonight. King in the shotgun. Alexander in the backfield now to his left. King wants to throw. He looks to the right. He throws it to the right. It's caught by Singleton at the 6. And then an angle into the end zone for the score.
Boy, just too easy right there. Just from the outside, just a slant route that we had no answer for. Easy catch by Singleton, able to split the rest of the Georgia defense and find pay dirt.
Tech will try to tie it with an extra point to force a second overtime. Here's Aiden Burr, the redshirt sophomore from Kennendale, Texas, to kick it into the east stands on a frigid night here in Athens. snap, hold, kick. Man, from this angle, that looked close on the right upright, but it's good. And we go to overtime number 2. Tech puts it in the end zone to send it to another overtime. 12-yard touchdown pass from King to Singleton, a 4-play drive, 25 yards. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Call Georgia Metals today and say roof, roof, roof for your Bulldogs discount. So we'll switch ends, and now we'll come down to the west end zone. And Tech will have the ball first here in the second overtime. And they'll be working with the game tied at 34. This is where the bulk of the Georgia Tech fans are located, on the northwest section of the stadium. TV timeout right now. And Tech slowly walking its offense down to this end of the field as Georgia walks its defense down. So the Dogs took a lead in overtime. First time tonight they had been in front. Couldn't hold it. Tech with a 12-yard touchdown run, or a touchdown throw, excuse me, from King to Singleton. Georgia's score in overtime was a touchdown pass to London Humphreys. Carson Beck with 4 TD passes tonight. King has a couple of touchdown passes. He's thrown for 303 yards, by the way, for Georgia Tech. He's also rushed for 109 yards. What a game.
Boy, what a game.
Haynes King.
What a game. We've had no answer for him or for this Tech offense all night.
So the Tech quarterback has run for 2 scores and thrown for 2 scores. And Tech in overtime number 2 will be on offense at the 25. Boy, a turnover here would be huge, wouldn't it? They run it with Alexander straight ahead into the teeth of the defense and not moving much of anywhere. They let the play go on as the pile was kind of jostled about C.J. Allen, the linebacker. Now they're saying he got all the way to the 21-yard line.
Boy, that is a unbelievable spot right there. We stood him up about on the line of scrimmage. They just kept letting him play. And it was a late push.
4 yards on the carry for Alexander to the 21. King in the shotgun. Now they have Rutherford in the backfield. He fakes the reverse as he takes the handoff, swings wide to the right. Rutherford inside the 10, spinning inside the 5, down to the goal line, down at the 1. We caught him before he broke the plane.
Boy, we tried to strip the football out. I'm not sure if we got it. I thought it came out for a second.
20-yard run down to the 1. It's goal to go for Georgia Tech. Just have not been able to stymie their ground attack all night long.
The ball did come out, but bounced right back up into Georgia Tech's hands.
Fortunate bounce for the Yellow Jackets. Their goal to go on the 1 on the far hash. Moving to left. Bring a man in motion. They fake the toss. King will keep it, and he will dive across the goal line straight ahead for the touchdown. He got half his body across into the end zone.
Same handful of plays all night, just zero answer for him.
So Tech takes the lead, 40-34, and now they have to go for 2.
Tech there just faking the toss sweep. And Haynes King patiently waiting for a little bit of a crease to open up, dives into the end zone. From the story of the night.
Tech's offense is walking towards their sideline, and they've used a timeout. Tech will use the timeout. Georgia Tech back in the lead, 40-34. We're in overtime number 2. And we're pending the 2-point try. Well, then Georgia will get the ball back. And if they score, They'll have to go for two depending on, well, they'll have to go for two regardless, depending on what Tech does, or it doesn't matter at this point. And if you go to overtime number 3, then it's just an exchange of possessions on 2-point tries from the 3-yard line. One play, and that's your chance in overtime. Then the other team gets an opportunity. Tech huddles up, ball's on the 3 on the far hash. Alexander in the backfield. This time King will go under center. 3 receivers to the near side. Bring a man in motion. Throw it. It's batted up and almost intercepted on the 2-point try. Smile Munden rushing upfield, batted that ball in the air. And we had 2 guys running after it. Smile Munden got the deflection, though, and Tech has denied the 2-point conversion. So it's a 6-point Georgia Tech lead, 40-34. Now the Dogs will get the ball at the 25.
Boy, Dogs were all over that. It was a quick bubble screen to the outside. Dogs read that from the get-go. There was no chance that that was going to work.
Georgia puts the ball on the near hash, moving to the west end zone, to our left. Need a touchdown to tie it, and then can possibly win it with the 2-point conversion try. Beck in the backfield in the shotgun with Cash Jones. We send Arian Smith in motion to the far side. Beck with pressure coming on. He's got Jones at the 6. Touchdown right inside the front left pylon. Easy peasy. One and done on that one.
Boy, one and done is right. Great job by Carson Beck moving in the pocket. Georgia Tech brought pressure. Cash Jones just slipped out of the backfield. Nobody was there. Carson Beck, as soon as he escaped that initial rush, able to just float that football up, and Dogs strike quick.
Tied at 40, 25-yard touchdown throw in overtime 2. The Dogs can win here. Ball's on the 3, near hash. Georgia huddles, they break the huddle, here we go. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Cash Jones in the backfield with Beck. Snap it back. Beck rolls right, looking into the end zone, off the hands at the goal line, incomplete. London Humphreys couldn't come up with it, right on the goal line. Harvey, the cornerback, was in coverage. So the 2-point try fails, and we go to overtime number 3.
The Dog sideline is livid that wasn't pass interference. Tech got there early for sure.
Well, they show the replay on the big video board, and that's why you hear all the boos going on. And Georgia on the field at the time, Humphreys kind of rolled out of his, as he went to the turf, he rolled over and kind of threw his arms up as if he was waiting on that flag to come out, but it never did. And we'll go back to the east end of the field now. And overtime number 3, and now it's just alternating possessions until somebody wins the game.
As they alternate sides of the fields here, you've got throngs of media having to hustle down from one end zone to the next.
I'm guessing some of those photographers haven't walked or had to jog this much in a long time. One into the other. 100-yard sprints for you. If they want the shot, they better get down there. Georgia will have it first in overtime number 3. The 4th overtime under Kirby Smart in his 9 years as the head coach at Georgia. Trying to even up our overtime record. Ball's on the 3 on the far hash. We're moving to the right. You get one play to try to score here. Roderick Robinson in the backfield. Beck's talking to him. He works out of the shotgun. Bell to the right, wide side. We bring Humphreys in motion to the near side. Jared Wilson snaps it back to Beck, who looks in the back left corner. Nothing there. Beck moves to his side and throws it into the end zone. The ball is tipped away and incomplete. Ben Urosic was in the front portion of the end zone for Georgia. London Humphreys was in the back corner. Did Tech get a hand on that in the end zone to tip it away? Yeah, they did. A guy jumped up very high to keep it out of London Humphreys' hand in the back left corner and tapped the ball away, broke up the pass.
Yeah, London Humphreys was open in the back corner of the end zone. Really nice play there by Georgia Tech to swat that one away.
That was the safety, Clayton Powell-Lee, who deflected the ball and saved the game temporarily for Tech. Now they get a whack at it. They put the ball between the hash marks on the 3. If they score, they win. If they don't, we go to a 4th overtime. And is Tech going to use a timeout? No, there's a flag down.
Sideline warning against Georgia.
And Tech's using the opportunity to take a quick timeout here, as I think somebody did call one. They did. I guess Tech called a timeout. So now Georgia will huddle up as well. Tech calls a time here. They've got a chance to win the game, or Georgia's got a chance to extend it. 40-40. Overtime number 3 here in Athens tonight. All those folks that left early in the 4th quarter, well, at least I hope you're listening on the way home or wherever you may be. But you're missing a heck of a finish. Yes, they did beat the traffic. But I hope you keep us tuned in here for the finish of the ball game and beyond. Defense needs a stop to extend the game. Tech with the ball between the hash marks down to the far right end of the field on the 3. Haynes King in the shotgun, and Jamal Haynes is back in the backfield to his left. Now we've got whistles, and Georgia wants to call a timeout. Oh, the whistles are getting a overload tonight. All the officials, multiple timeouts, multiple times. As you called it, Z, that the chess match continues. So Tech came out, showed their personnel and their formation, and Georgia calls the time. So what do you discuss here after you see what they may have been threatening to run?
Well, you're coming out with, all right, if they line up and what they did, right, this is what we expect. Probably talking about a couple of different adjustments off of that. Right now they're looking at what personnel is Tech putting into the football game. So a lot of decisions are being made in a very short time period here.
Well, Georgia either extends the game or Tech wins right here. All right, everybody back out on the field, ready to go. Overtime number 3. Tech flip-flops personnel from right to left. Haynes King in the shotgun, motion man to the right, takes the snap, in the pocket, no pressure, throws it into the end zone, incomplete over the back line of the end zone. Had a man racing along the back line, that was Singleton, and even the speedy Singleton couldn't get to that ball. Just out of his reach, and we go to overtime period number 4.
Once again, we flip-flop sides of the field. Tech will have the ball first here, as no one's been able to punch it in from the 3-yard line.
And tongues are going to be hanging out before too much longer. And I'm talking about the photographers who now have to run back down to the west end zone on this near sideline behind the Georgia bench. You got cameras moving and photographers in white vests trying to jog and hustle, and cameramen.
Just working off Thanksgiving dinner
That's
yesterday.
a good point. Good point. All right, overtime number 4, and it's the same thing as we just saw. It's one play, alternating possessions. Georgia will have it at the 3. They'll position the ball where Georgia likes. Tech's going to go first. So I stand corrected. Tech, I'm losing count here. Tech will go first on offense here in overtime number 4. Getting close to the witching hour here on this Friday night, Thanksgiving weekend. Tech puts the ball between the hash marks on the 3. And Georgia with this defensive front of Michael Williams, Warren Brinson, tying Dawkins, and then Jalen Walker, his jersey dirtied up with a lot of grass stains. He's in one linebacker gap, Allen the other. And here we go. 2 receivers left on the near side. They send Singleton in motion. That's Rutherford, excuse me. They snap. King's hit as he throws. It's incomplete. There's a flag down behind the play in the Tech backfield. Trying to go to the tight end in the front left corner, Hawes. And that ball was nowhere near. What's the flag about?
There is no foul for roughing the passer. The try is incomplete.
All right.
That's a good no call.
Hawes was, or rather, King was being hit just after he let it go.
That's a great no call. There was a little bit of a hand to the back, but
yeah, up around the shoulder, and King tried to sell it to more than it was, maybe.
Good decision there. Good call by the referees to wave that one off. That would have been a travesty.
All right, Georgia for a chance to win the game. We're at 40, tied in overtime. Number 4, Dogs get it across the goal line. They'll win this one. 2 receivers wide to the right. Cash Jones in the backfield. The ball's on the near hash on the 3. Now we put Arian Smith over on the right side. Beck takes the snap, looking, plenty of time, moves to his left, now his right. He's going to run. He's at the 15, he's at the 10. There's a flag down. He's hit at the 6. He falls forward as he jumps in the air down to the 2. There's a flag down, probably a hold. He didn't get in anyway.
Holding offense number 73. That penalty's declined. Try is no good.
Well, just absolutely nothing there for Carson Beck, as he was trying to scramble around and get one of his guys open. Never happened.
Overtime number 5, back down on the east end zone. Georgia's offense stays out there. They'll get the first crack at it.
Dogs are now 0 for 4.
Now you're just starting to get antsy a little bit here as you keep getting deeper and deeper into the overtime. This time the ball's on the far hash at the 3. I'm watching our linemen jog back out onto the field. I'm not sure how much gas they have left in the tank. Hopefully enough for one more punch in. 40-40. This is a 4th or 5th overtime. I've lost count. It's 5. Number 5. Dogs with a 2-point try to take the lead. And then Tech will get a crack regardless of Georgia's outcome. We break the huddle.
Dogs
4 receivers to the right, see?
Dogs have gone straight drop back last couple of times. Haven't been able to find anybody getting open.
4 to the right, 1 to the left. Beck in the shotgun, snap it back, looking all alone for Dylan Bell. He caught it on the slant from the left. 3 yards deep in the end zone. Dylan Bell with the conversion.
Dogs went empty there. Tech brought pressure, so vacated the middle. Just had a quick slant on. Great read by Carson Beck. It's exactly where you need to go with the football, and finally we convert a 2-point conversion.
Dylan Bell with the catch on the 3-yard strike. Dogs have a 42-40 lead in overtime number 5. Now Tech will get a go at it. Now the defense is out there asking for noise. 1 play. You either tie or we go to 6 overtimes. We got a basketball game later today. Come on, man. You're killing me, Smalls. All right, Tech out on the field. Dogs get a stop, they win. If they don't, we play on. Tech shifts from right to left, a couple of tight ends. King from the 3, middle of the field between the hashes. King snap, looking, no pressure, throws it into the end zone. It's caught. Rutherford.
Boy, just all day for King to survey the field. There, easy pitch and catch as we lost Rutherford in the end zone. Then we flip fields one more time, and Tech will have it first.
42-42 as Tech converts to send us back to the west end zone. And that jog back and forth for all the photographers and press people is getting slower and slower. Let's go down to Shock on the sidelines, brought to you by attorney Ken Nugent. DJ, what do you have left?
I know, right? I'm just thinking the last few times when we were able to get stops, we didn't play man, we played a lot of zone. Similar to both teams on that, both 2-point plays. Georgia Tech would cover 0, we went man as well, and it's hard to do it and try to create it there. So I wonder if Georgia's going to play zone here, like everything's sitting in front of them, or they try to play man and come at them again. See, I mean, you understand how easy it is when they go cover 0, and that's what they did last time.
Yeah, but both teams, you're right, Shock. Switch up, everybody was playing zone, couldn't find anywhere to go. Tech then goes 0. We get the one-on-one we like, we convert. Same thing, we go man defensively, not able to get to the Tech quarterback King, but he's got time to go survey the field, and just very, very difficult to stay on your guys for that long.
Dogs bring Warren Brinson off the field. And we've got Ingram Dawkins and Michael Williams as the two true linemen. And now Georgia wants to call a timeout before Tech snaps the football here in the 6th overtime.
30 seconds in length.
Yeah, Georgia didn't like the alignment there, got a little bit out of position, so Kirby Smart very quickly pulling the trigger on calling that timeout.
We were bringing Brinson off the field. I couldn't see who we ran on in his place. I didn't catch the number. And then they called time before Tech could snap it. We're tied at 42. And this is the birth of overtime number 6 here at Sanford Stadium. We were tied at 27 at the end of regulation. Each side has added 15 points in all the overtime sessions.
And it's getting late. These fans have not lost their mojo at all.
No, they've got more energy than anybody. All right, Tech between the hash marks on the 3, moving to our left. One play. Here comes pressure, and we're going to sack King back at the 15-yard line. We shot a safety. Dan Jackson through the gap, and he gets the sack. King never knew what hit him. Wrapped him up around the ankles and rolled him like an alligator down to the 16.
Well, Shock, I guess that answers a question for us. We said enough of this. Let's end it. We brought everybody. Boa Blitz brought linebackers, brought our safeties. More than Tech could block, finally able to get to Haynes King and put him on the turf. Now let's go end this thing, boys.
Time to win. Let's do it. Ball's on the near hash on the 3. Georgia gets in the end zone, they win. Overtime number 6, 42-42. Break the huddle. Cash Jones in the backfield with Beck. He's got Smith and Lovett to the right and Bell to the left. Now we bring a man in motion, return him. Beck to throw into the end zone. Back of the end zone, off the hands, incomplete. Arian Smith hit him in the hands and he couldn't catch it.
Boy, that's the 3rd one today. Arian Smith, this is a game that he's going to want to forget.
The ball went over. Oh, it went over Dylan Bell. He got a finger on it. And it knocked it off stride for Arian Smith, who was lined up right behind him in the back of the end zone. Bell was in the front of the end zone. And Smith was in the back of the end zone. And the passing line was right over with both of them. Dylan Bell jumped up and flicked the ball with his finger, and it started to wobble, and when it got to Arian Smith's hands, he wasn't able to catch it. So we go to a 7th overtime. Back down on the other end of the field now. There's probably a lot of football fans in this stadium that are just now learning how much fun overtime can be.
Georgia will have it first.
7 overtimes. That's why the rule was put into place, to prevent this kind of thing when you start the alternating possessions. But it's not working tonight. No one can punch it in when the other guy doesn't do it as well. Somebody's got to punch it in when the other guy can't. Georgia will go first here. Down far to our right in the east end zone. Ball's on the far hash on the 3. Rod Robinson in the backfield. Snap it back. Carson Beck fake. Will run it to the goal line. Did he get in? No, he stopped short at the goal line. They just tried to run it in this time. He got 2 3/4 yards maybe. Couldn't get the 3 to break the plane.
Boy, it's almost like we've run out of plays. Carson Beck just got picked up by a Georgia Tech linebacker, unable to go punch it in. Can the Dogs hold one more time?
Well, that's what it's going to take in overtime number 7. Is it lucky number 7 for Georgia to extend the game or not? 42 apiece. Tech on offense now. Ball's on the far hash for them as well. What do you got left, Dogs? Georgia only has 10 guys on the field. Now they have to run Damon Wilson on late. And Georgia will call a timeout.
Yeah, good timeout for Georgia. Didn't have the right alignment out there.
Georgia.
Well, this is uncharted territory, and nobody's ever played 7 overtimes in a Bulldog uniform in the history of the sport. So the Dogs call a time. We ran Damon Wilson on late because we only had 10 guys out there for the play. Overtime number 7, 42-42. Both teams have scored 15 points in all the overtimes combined. Both teams also now over 400 yards in total offense. Tech over 500 yards in total offense. Tech huddles, now they break it. At the 3, Haynes King. They shift. They send 4 men out to the left, and a couple of them, maybe all 4 are linemen. They've just got the center there. They snap it. King, play fake, rolls to the right. We chase, throw it into the end zone. Batted away! Broken up by, was that Munden?
Oh, the flag came down.
Flag in the back of the end zone. Munden jumped high in the air, batted the ball away. The referee, Jeff Heiser, is talking to the back judge.
Pass interference. Defense.
Wow.
All the plays at the 1 yard line will try.
I tell you, I am shocked that they threw that flag. That looked like a really good defensive play, especially when they don't call it on Tech a couple of series ago.
Left hash.
So they put the ball,
wow,
just outside the 1, between the 1 and the 2, the 1.5, and Tech gets another play. Look out for Haynes King on this one. 1.5 yards from winning. 42-42, overtime number 7. Motion man comes this way. King gonna keep it. Oh, we hit him behind the line. C.J. Allen faced him up, held him up, and they stop him back at the 3. King tried to run it.
Boy,
didn't work.
Absolutely stacked him up. We've seen that play all night. Fake the jet sweep. Haynes King keeps it and tries to go up the middle. Dogs not having it that time.
We go to an 8th overtime. 42 all, and we'll flip-flop into the field again. And here comes the parade of photographers once again.
Yeah, the jog is getting much slower.
That equipment getting heavier and heavier. All right, who's got more energy here, George or Georgia Tech, as we go to overtime number 8? I'm going to need some extended time on my DVR at home. Oh, my goodness. Carson Beck tonight, 28 of 43 with all the overtimes, 297 passing, 5 touchdowns. Kind of lost in the shuffle of all the extra play. That has tied the single game record for most touchdown throws in a game. Haynes King, 26 of 36 for Tech, 303 passing, 2 touchdowns. And the Tech quarterback has rushed for 110 yards on 24 carries and scored 3 times. All right, here we go. Tech with the ball first. 42-42, overtime number 8. King, we bring pressure again. Chase him out of the pocket. Allen grabs his legs. They catch it in the back corner. Out of bounds, incomplete. Singleton, I think he ended up with the ball. It was a great effort. C.J. Allen with a tremendous blitz. All out, full sprint, chasing down the Tech quarterback, was grabbing at his legs as he was trying to jump and throw. He had Singleton in the back of the end zone. Not sure if he hung on to the ball or not, but he was over the back line of the end zone. It was incomplete either way.
Boy, C.J. Allen had the smallest of slivers to get through somehow. Turns his body just enough to get through untouched, and the speed to go get after Haynes King and disrupt that pass. A couple of really good plays. Can't even call them series anymore. A couple of really good plays from C.J. Allen. All right, Dogs, let's go win this thing.
Dogs can win it here. Dwight Phillips, a receiver, out wide to the right. Ball's on the near hash. Georgia can win here. Snap, handoff, Frazier. Dogs win! Dogs win! Touchdown! Extra point! Whatever you want to call it. This game is over.
Boy, and it's mayhem. The Dogs just mobbing Frazier right now in the end zone. There's media everywhere. What a football game.
44-42 is the final as the fireworks explode atop the stadium. The bench just erupted onto the field. Nate Frazier with a sprint at left guard. He hit top speed as he crossed the goal line. The freshman gets it done in the 8th overtime here in Athens tonight. Clean old-fashioned hate. Oh, it doesn't get any better than that. Dogs were down 17-0 at the half. They get off the deck, force overtime as they scored 21 fourth quarter points, and finally, at last, win the game in the 8th overtime on the 3-yard run by Nate Frazier. Oh, this one's over.
Boy, it is a game that midway through the 4th quarter, you'd say, no way the Dogs are going to go win it. Somehow we find ways to make play after play after play. Never gave up. Showed the heart of a champion that has been in big-time games over and over and over over the past 4 or 5 years. And Dogs find a way to pull this one out. What a football game.
Oh, my goodness. That took a hell of an effort. Oh, my gosh. Wow, we'll wrap it up for you. We'll all the numbers. We'll hear from Coach Kirby Smart, DJ Shockley in the locker room. And then 2 hours or more of post-game talk with Kevin and Jeff. All of that straight ahead. A much-needed timeout. Georgia wins 44-42 over the rival Georgia Tech in 8 overtimes. Post-game coverage coming up next on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.